All right, here we are. Welcome to Friday night. Wanted to just come on and let everyone know that I'm doing a show tomorrow night, 8 p.m. You'll see it in the stream logs. Shows up and coming. We're going to do a show tomorrow night. Lot going on. I've been doing a deep dive into the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Um, My prayers go out to his wife and children and his family and all that have been affected by this. It's a very, very sad moment for a lot of people, including myself. Um, just for something like that to happen to someone, I'm checking my sound. I want to make sure I got good sound. Yep. Okay, we're good. You know, I've done deep dives on a lot of different assassination attempt on Trump. I did a deep, deep dive into that. We did like 4 weeks straight. Um, this one's raw because the footage is pretty difficult. Um, it's really difficult. Me and my son, we've been working on it most of the evening. And we were going to do it. We were going to run a show, but it's a little. By the time I got done doing all this deep dives and clips and all that stuff, I was just like, you know what? It was like 9 o'clock, and I'm just like, I'm gonna just wait. And then I got into looking at some stuff, and there's a lot of different things going on here that doesn't make sense. And so we're gonna get into it tomorrow. What I want to say is, um, big things are coming. I know I've said this before. I've said this quite a bit in the last, especially in the last month or a few weeks, that whatever you think of the Trump administration, whatever you think about the DOJ or Pam Bondi or Cash Patel, which they're out. We talked about this last week, the week before. Cash Patel's gone, Bongino's gone. They got that other dude coming in, and he's going. I'm assuming he's going to take over the FBI within the next couple few months. That's what it looks like. That's from what my sources say, that Bongino's on a short leash right now, or on a short list, excuse me, and that Bongino is uh, only there until his replacement gets tuned in to what's going on, because they're just not made for, whether you like Bongino or not. I think the best thing that he could do is get out of there before he completely ruins his reputation. And it's really not even probably about Bongino, but about all the people that are around him. So that's going on. Um, there's a big meeting going on this weekend um, in DC, and there's talks going on about what they're doing moving forward, and indictments are coming, and arrests are coming. And I know that we've said that, and I want to see bracelets on all of them, handcuffs, just arrest them all, especially after this thing that happened. And there's so many conflicting statements with the Charlie Kirk thing. Um, the shooter, did he have a rifle on him when he got off the roof? Did all these different things? you know then there's these stories about, oh, he disassembled it to get off the roof, and then reassembled it, and then stashed it in the woods, and just so many conflicting statements. But what we do know is that he was on, you know Reddit, or whatever, one of those platforms, Discord, excuse me. He was on Discord and he was communicating with his roommate or something, talking about where the weapon was to go pick it up, and then um, so the roommate, when the roommate was interviewed, they showed the Discord messages from Tyler, the Robinson, and and what they did verify is that his dad, 27-year sheriff, or works for the sheriff's office. I don't know if he's an active officer or if he just works for the sheriff's department. Um, Took him in and turned him in to the police station around 10:30, 10:40 last night, and he was booked into the Washington County, uh, sheriff's, jail or whatever at 2 a.m. this morning. So that's what we know for sure. Now, there's a lot of speculation going on, and I'm sure by this time tomorrow, by the time I do my show at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, it's California time if you don't know that. Um, the information that we don't have right now that I've been waiting to get confirmation on so I can really have a good, clean report on all of this will be out by then, I'm sure. By noon, I'll have the information I need. And I really need to verify a couple things before I go public with it, because I just think it's right to give you the best information possible. And so, what I did when Trump got shot is I took all of the information from all these different sources and I dissected it to find what I thought was the most credible um, scenario, we'll say. And I talked about, people told me, oh no, they got the shooter and all this stuff. There was two shooters, and I don't think Crooks was one of them. We've talked about this. We talked about this during the time, and that the shooters were not that. I don't even think Crooks took a shot. That's my understanding. That's what I think. I think the shooters were in two different locations on out there because of the trajectory of the bullets when they were fired from a rifle or a couple rifles. There's two shooters. Anyway, so they found just you can go back. It's on my it's posted well on my posted well. I don't know why. Let me look at that. That doesn't look right. Oh yeah, that's stupid. I don't know why that's on there like that. Let me fix that. I don't know why it's doing that. Why I have two. I don't know. That's weird. Let me fix this. It's fucking irritating. New system, right? So I'm still trying to figure out how all this works. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a rookie, man. New system, but this system's going to work way better once I figure it all out. I've been really working on that too to make sure that I have all Anyway, I get sidetracked really. The ADD kicks in, and I get off in the weeds. So what I want to say is this: by tomorrow, I'll have the information I don't have now, and I will be able to definitively say what I believe. Now, what I can tell you is Alex Jones is in D.C. tonight, and I have a couple reports for him. We're going to wait till tomorrow. I'm just going to do this little, few minute talk here, and then I'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'm going to give you a lot of information. I'm going to give you the information about the FBI, Pam Bondi, Trump, what Alex Jones is doing with Ed Martin, which is, that whole meeting that happened, what Trump's health is like for those of you that don't know, because there's been, debates going on. that he's old and frail and falling apart. And I'll tell you right now, he's not. But just for the sake of what we're doing right now, I'm just going to say that. Um, and I'm going to give you what I think is probably really important information that we as a country need to start really thinking about what we're going to do moving forward peacefully and patriotically, um, because the shootings and the stabbings and the violence and the attacks on white people and the theft and the carjacking and robberies and you know all that stuff, it has to end. It has to stop. Something has to happen because what it's all over the place. People are not, they don't feel safe. Um, they don't feel that they're being represented from their representatives. They don't feel like the people that represent us, and even in our own offices, local, are representing us properly. And I believe that. Um, I also got some really good information I'll share with you now. If you're in California, um, I was misinformed about when I was talking to Sarah last week when we had New California State on when we had uh, that talk last week on the show. Uh, Check that out. Last Friday night, I did a show with um, Sarah Matson, who is part of New California State, and it's where California is splitting, and all the liberal cities on the coast of California are going to be called California, and everything else is going to be New California, and that it's on President Trump's desk, or it's at least on en route. It's one of those things where, um, and I found out that thought what I thought that there was something going to be voted on in the House is some other thing actually stepping on the toes of New California that's been working, day and night, hand in glove to get California or New California started so that they could start changing and turning the United States back into a sovereign country where, politicians they don't have it's not like a money laundering operation like it's been for 50, 75 years. And we talked about this just a little bit last week. I have the governor, interim governor, for New California coming on next Friday at 8 o'clock on my 8 o'clock show next Friday. He's coming on, and we're going to get into it. We're going to get into the real details about what's going on with California and New California and the United States, really. Because if you remember what she said last week, she was really clear that this is the model for the United States. The model for the United States. They'll start with the New California, and then it'll just start going to all the red states, obviously first, and then as it progresses, it will hit all 50 states, and New California will be the 51st state. And Trump is on board. He's been talking to Trump and all that stuff, so that's kind of where that's at, and I'm really excited to for that to take effect because I live in the shithole, um, Gavin Newsom's California, which need I say any more? What else? What else do I need to cover before we call this for the night? Um, yeah, I think that's good. We're gonna cover some the Immortal Cell Lines as well, just a little bit tomorrow about the truth about what's going on with that whole thing. We're going to cover that because there was big talk about it with um, RFK Jr. So we'll probably get into a little bit of that as well. So anyway, um, right here tomorrow night at 8 p.m. we're gonna run the show Saturday Night Live instead of tonight, and I look forward to seeing you all there. Please pray for us all. Pray for the Kirk family and all that have been affected by the Kirk family tragedy. And God bless you. And I will see you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Good night.